Are you tired of living like a puppet, getting triggered by every little thing in your life? Have you ever wondered how some people stay calm, no matter how chaotic things get in the world? They could have storms, and yet they're steady. Insults could fly their way, but they remain peaceful. Plans could crumble around them, and they don't even care. So, how do they do it? How do they remain unshakable while others crumble? You see, most people live every day controlled by external events. Imagine your daily routine. You're driving and someone might cut you off. Then anger grips you. Your heart races. Your mood darkens and you feel tense. Or perhaps at school, a classmate criticizes you. And immediately your confidence shatters and you question your abilities for hours. Even something as small as a stranger's insult can stir self doubt within you. Does any of this sound familiar? Be honest, because this pattern makes you a prisoner of your surroundings. You're giving others the power to control your emotions. You're becoming reactive, always responding in situations rather than creating your own inner peace. But imagine if things could be different. What if no insult, no failure, and no rejection could ever touch you again? Is that even possible? Well, Carl Jung thought so. You see, he discovered something profound about people. He postulated that we are not disturbed by the world around us, but by our interpretation of it. Ask yourself this question. When someone insults you, why does it hurt? It's not the insult itself. It's because deep inside, part of you fears it might be true. The pain arises from your internal fears and doubts, not the external world. Think about it. If someone ignores you and you feel hurt, the pain isn't because of their behavior, it's because you're seeking validation from them. And if you were secure, their behavior wouldn't affect you at all. Here's an example to sink your teeth in. Two people can have the same experience and the same day and interpret the same event differently. Imagine two friends that lost their job at the same time. One feels devastated and he spirals into self blame. But the other, he sees the job loss as an opportunity to finally launch his own business. He sees being terminated as the ultimate blessing. So, what was the difference? The event itself was the same. The only difference was each person's interpretation of it. This is why you have to make the unconscious conscious. Otherwise, your whole life is tossed about on the seas of fate. Scientists have found that about 95% of our brain activity happens without us even noticing it. Think about that. Almost everything in your body and mind happens unconsciously. Your heartbeat, breathing, digestion, even your instant emotional reactions are controlled by this hidden part of your mind. And your reactions and emotions, they are not accidental. Every reaction, every burst of anger or wave of sadness, it reveals something hidden within you. It's your unresolved fear and insecurity. I grew up reading a story about the legendary General Hannibal. You see, he was famous for leading his army, including elephants, across the treacherous Alps. He faced impossible odds, freezing cold, rugged terrains, and enemy attacks. Hannibal drew strength from his incredible mental toughness. He never let harsh conditions disturb his inner peace. And where others would have crumbled, Hannibal maintained his calm focus. He overcome obstacles by sheer force of emotional stability. And his story demonstrates how emotional mastery helps conquer even the toughest external circumstances. You know, most people avoid this inner exploration. Instead, they blame their external circumstances. They blame their family or bad luck because blaming others is easier, even though it leaves us powerless. You see, when you blame others, you give them control over your emotional state and you lose your freedom. Look at Julius Caesar, for example. His power and influence spanned an empire, but despite receiving clear warnings about impending danger, he was blinded by his own pride and arrogance. He ignored his vulnerabilities and refused to acknowledge internal and external threats. His unwillingness to confront these hidden truths led to his assassination. Caesar's tragic end shows that ignoring your internal blind spots, those unresolved issues, can lead to the most devastating outcomes. And even though you might not have the threats on that level, the lesson is still powerful, that external events have no external emotional power. Reality itself is neutral. Events become positive or negative based entirely on how you interpret them. If your self-worth relies on others' approval, anyone who withholds approval controls the keys to your happiness. If your identity relies on constant success, then any failure can crush your confidence. The best example of this I can think of is Napoleon Bonaparte's story. Of course, you know who he is as one of history's greatest conquerors. He was known as a strategic genius. Yet he was ultimately defeated by something inside himself, not just the Battle of Waterloo alone. See, his pride and emotional impulsivity blinded him. He stubbornly stuck to flawed plans and he refused to calmly adapt to setbacks. His unchecked emotions clouded his judgment and it led to costly mistakes. You see, Napoleon's inability to master his internal reactions, I believe that's what caused his ultimate downfall. And his story demonstrates how uncontrolled emotions sabotage even the most powerful individuals. But this does create the ultimate paradox that the more you try to control external situations, the more powerless you become. It's like the story of Sisyphus, where he endlessly pushed that boulder uphill only to watch it roll back down on him each time. Chasing control over people and circumstances traps you in an identical cycle of frustration and exhaustion. But true emotional strength doesn't just come from forcing the world to bend to your will, it comes from mastering your perception of the world. Only by shifting your focus inward can you escape the endless struggle and finally stand at peace on top of your own mountain. And modern neuroscience supports this insight. Your emotional reactions ultimately become habits. And every time you react with anger, sadness, or fear, your brain strengthens those emotional neural pathways. Eventually, reacting emotionally will become automatic. It'll be something your brain does without you even noticing it consciously. But the good news is you can change these habits. Neuroscience confirms your brain has plasticity, meaning it can build new, healthier neural pathways. And with practice and mindful attention, you can start to reshape all of these emotional reactions. There's this powerful historical example of Alexander the Great, one of history's greatest conquerors. But he was defeated by a simple insult from his best friend. How the story went down is that one evening, his closest friend named Clytus openly criticized him in front of his peers. Now, Alexander, feeling deeply insulted and humiliated, was instantly overcome by rage. So what did he do? Without thinking, he grabbed a spear and hurled it at Clytus, killing his best friend in one moment of uncontrolled fury. But Alexander immediately fell in despair. He realized that his emotional reaction had destroyed something irreplaceable to him, his friend. Now imagine a different outcome. Imagine someone publicly insults or criticizes you. And in normal circumstances, anger or embarrassment might flood your mind. It might urge you to react defensively to prove your case. But instead, imagine you feel nothing, no negative anger, no shame, just peaceful neutrality. Why? Because you've changed your perception. Unlike Alexander the Great in that foolish moment, you recognize that insults reveal more about the other guy than about your worth. Carl Jung and other wise teachers throughout history explain this. External events only affect you if you allow them to. Emotional pain arises when your identity relies on external validation. Jung called these hidden fears and insecurities the shadow self, the unresolved wounds we have deep inside us as men. And mastering your perception frees you from impulsive emotional reactions. This ensures you remain in control no matter what happens around you. No one can touch you or affect your state again. When someone triggers an emotional reaction, they don't create your pain, they just expose it. Imagine that you're yelling insults at a mountain. Does the mountain react? No, it has no hidden insecurities. Your goal is emotional stability, like that mountain, not numbness, but inner security and confidence. Genghis Khan was like that. He built the largest contiguous empire in history, and a significant reason for his success was his unshakable emotional discipline. Khan rarely allowed anger or frustration to cloud his decisions. Even amidst chaos and intense pressure, he maintained clarity and calmness. He strategically chose every move on the chessboard, and his emotional self control repeatedly outsmarted his enemies. Genghis Khan shows that mastering your emotions gives you incredible power, clarity, and effectiveness. So let's learn how we can apply these lessons into our own personal lives. Here's how you will master your own emotional power. Every emotional response is a powerful opportunity for growth. Instead of reacting automatically, ask yourself clearly, why am I feeling this way? What hidden fear or insecurity does this reveal about myself? This simple awareness shifts everything. Each reaction will become a lesson for you. Think of life as a chess game. Most people live as chess pieces, moved around by events beyond their control. Emotional strength means becoming the player who sees the entire board clearly. And even better is to become the observer, watching the entire game from above. Clearly seeing everything allows you to act consciously instead of reacting unconsciously. And when you stop automatic emotional reactions, the external world responds differently to you. People sense your strength and confidence as a mirror projecting back to you. You no longer will chase validation or approval. These things naturally will flow towards you. Instead of feeling desperate or needy, you will become calm and powerful. Your emotional energy attracts respect, friendships, and opportunities. Imagine the freedom that you will have. Insults won't hurt you, setbacks will no longer shake you, and rejection, it'll be powerless. Think of it like King Leonidas of Sparta. At the Battle of Thermopylae, he was faced with overwhelming odds against the formidable Persian army, but Leonidas demonstrated extraordinary composure and clarity. Even in the face of certain death, his calm demeanor inspired unwavering courage in his warriors. Leonidas teaches us that true emotional strength isn't about avoiding defeat, but maintaining your inner calm and dignity, no matter how threatening or chaotic the external world around us becomes. And these are the exact lessons you can use. Others will become drawn to your strength. Not to mention, your relationships, career, and life will improve dramatically. This isn't just a dream, though, it's a reality you can create. The next question is this: how do you start this powerful change in your life? Every time something snaps at you, pause, notice your reaction, and without judgment, ask yourself, what fear or insecurity is showing up right now? This moment of awareness is powerful. It will break the automatic cycle of reaction that you have. Instead of reacting unconsciously, you choose your response consciously. Over time, your brain learns that this is a newer, healthier pattern to adopt, and your emotional triggers weaken. Eventually, they will disappear. Mastering your emotional perception will bring you true freedom in life. And when you understand clearly that external events hold no real power, you become unstoppable. No insult, no rejection, and no disappointment can shake you ever again. You will become emotionally secure and deeply peaceful. Right now, you have an important choice to make as you listen to this message. You can continue blaming all the external events, and with good reason. The world is crazy. But you can remain emotionally reactive to it and stay trapped and imprisoned, or you can reclaim your emotional power, face your hidden fears, and transform your life. Let me know in the comments below which path you are committing to. But never forget, every emotional reaction is a chance for growth. Every uncomfortable feeling points clearly to something you need to heal. Face your insecurities head on, master your perceptions, and you master your reality. This journey won't happen overnight, though. It will take time and it will take consistent practice. But every small step will move you closer to complete emotional freedom. Each day you practice mindful awareness, your emotional strength will grow, and eventually nothing external will disturb your inner peace ever again. So I want to hear from you on this. Have you discovered any hidden fears or insecurities holding you back? Share those experiences right now in the comments below. And always remember, the power to control your emotions has always belonged to you. Today, you have the choice to reclaim that power. Imagine your life clearly with unshakable emotional strength. See yourself calm, confident, and powerful, unaffected by external events. The decision is yours right now. Freedom is yours. The peace you desire belongs entirely to you. From now on, nothing outside you can shake your inner peace ever again.